2.5 million students have taken part in the Erasmus program since it started. Many of them believe that the exchange has helped them on the ladder of success.
Erasmus improves your CV.
Higher starting salaries.
Better employability skills, I think.
But today's job applicants are up against increasing competition from all over the world.
They're employing people from outside of the UK, whereas people in the UK could be filling those jobs with their language skills.
With hundreds of thousands of graduates looking for jobs each year, what makes you stand out?
You've seen some other culture, you bring that knowledge to the employment.
Learning a foreign language will really help you in the job markets.
What is the Erasmus Exchange? Is it a passport to success?
That is what employers now in the global marketplace are looking for.
It's not necessarily something that's going to make the employer really want to employ you.
Camilla is an occupational therapy student at Cardiff University. She's off to Sweden.
Well, I've just got my passport renewed. I've bought lots of things like comfy shoes to wear in the hospital because that's where I'll be working, and lots of nice warm clothes to wear because it'll be cold there. I took the opportunity to go to Erasmus and I'm really excited to go now, and I'm going to Sweden in September.
The promotional video for the Erasmus promises a lot. The program is named after a 16th century Dutch academic. It supports study and work abroad from 3 to 12 months. In the UK, the British Council manages and promotes the Erasmus. It claims that taking part will help students to stand out in the job market, make UK graduates more employable. David Hibbler is the manager of the Erasmus program at the British Council.
We do have statistically reliable academic studies of this that demonstrated that students who undertook a period of mobility both had better degree results and also higher starting salaries than students who hadn't participated.
And that report was written by Mark Gittos at the Higher Education Authority.
Certainly, if you took the results as they stand, it looks as though it does improve both your employability outcomes in terms of either getting employment or further study, and in terms of your salary. Unfortunately, there's a counter argument to that as well, which is to say it's the type of people that do Erasmus courses that mean they're going to get higher salaries and higher outcomes.
Like Charlotte from Barry Island. She spent her Erasmus working as an English language assistant in France 3 years ago. Female from a high-income family with previous experience of traveling and living abroad.
I'd already been to France before my year abroad, so I had an idea of what the people were like, what the country was like, but I'd never been to Brittany, and I'd never obviously stayed somewhere lived somewhere on my own before.
It was a huge step to leave everything behind.
It's not just going out there, it's preparing as well. There's a lot of preparation, like place where to live, how you're going to get the money until you get paid or until you get your loan if you study.
Rachel is another past Erasmus student who took part in the program 9 years ago.
Sort of the first couple of weeks it was really hard. The university obviously knew we were coming, their international officers, but actually arranging the courses and trying to get the administration side of things sorted out, it was a challenge. So it was a really hard first couple of weeks out there.
The most popular destination for British students is France, Spain and Germany. Students choose mostly language courses or business studies. Shan was on Erasmus 18 years ago.
possibly on the academic side of things, it's a little bit more stringent than it was when I was out there. And I think probably we would have benefited from that, because it gives you something to aim for. Whereas, you know, for us, we could just choose whether or not we wanted to go to a lecture.
Although more students from the UK than ever before went on the exchange this year, nearly 12,000, the number is still small compared to other European countries.
UK students, we believe, are less well prepared linguistically to contemplate a period of study abroad. There's also a different set of circumstances applying to UK students that may not always apply to students in other countries. For example, the matter of fees in the UK means that many students are committed to part-time jobs to support their place at university.
Perhaps there are other reasons.
I don't think the Erasmus exchange is that popular among British students in particular, because I don't think it's that widely known. I only know about it because I've studied languages, but for friends who don't study languages, they don't really know about it.
Johnny, talented primary school teacher from London, as a language student, went on his Erasmus to Germany.
I think it's more of a social change on me rather than made me more employable personally. And I think it really depends what type of work you're going to go into.
Just like Johnny, every year thousands of graduates are looking for jobs. Research says it's not just academic success which attracts employers. Graduates are also chosen for their personality and knowledge of the world.
The world has got smaller, and employers and employment and commerce and industry have got more interconnected, and we're a global village and all those cliches. It's even more important that people have the ability to work with people from other countries, other cultures, working in other languages. Erasmus gives that opportunity.
When the opportunity rose for me to go to Spain 3 years ago, I was so excited. So what about Camilla, who's just setting off for Sweden?
It gives me experience in a different country, working under a different healthcare system, and it's just increasing that experience, I think, and it's really good for my professional practice. And I can apply all the knowledge that I get over there to other work, and I think that attracts people because I've travelled and I've worked in a different culture. It's definitely worth going there.
And there it is again, the idea that Erasmus will improve your job prospects. So which companies nowadays hire Erasmus students? I went to the British Council, but they couldn't give me any specific names. This made me a bit confused, so I went to a career and employment centre to ask if Erasmus is really something that employers are looking for. Does it guarantee employment?
Just because someone's been on the Erasmus exchange programme, that doesn't make them ideal for the job. You won't really find any job specification that says they have to have taken part in the exchange programme. All that we can say is that it does help employability if the experience required matches what they got on Erasmus. But you're very unlikely to see that it's actually one of the main requirements. To say that it's a guarantee of a job, we can't really go that far, but it obviously helps, definitely.
It definitely helped Kate Samways, who is an Erasmus student, did both work placement in France and study in Venice.
I absolutely think that Erasmus improves your CV, and I've been on interviews before where I have it on my CV, I have it quite prominently. They've said, "Oh, you've lived in Venice, tell us a bit about that." And even if it just gives you a talking point for you to just say, look, I'm able to go and live somewhere abroad, so I should be able to do this job, no problem.
Personally, I think it's just an extra quality, you know, something that kind of makes you a bit more rounded as a person, but it's not necessarily something that's going to make the employer really want to employ you.
Another study I looked at shows that Erasmus is being challenged by students travelling abroad on their own. There are also other international programs which share similar aims. So, is Erasmus as relevant as it was almost 25 years ago?
There are different programmes available now as well, which are funded by the EU. So there's the Leonardo fund that can give you work experience out there.
The increase last year across the programme was between 7 and 8%, as I understand it. So there's no lack of attractiveness for students.
The problem we've got with statistics is they are just statistics. So you can identify that there's something going on, but it's very difficult to establish a cause and effect for these type of things in isolation. Statistics only give you half the story. You've really got to get down to the interviewing and the talking to people in order to understand it.
And that's what I've done. In fact, I've spoken with more people than appeared in this film. In the past, Erasmus was something very different, something very exciting. But today there are other ways of getting similar experiences. Speaking personally, it did boost my confidence, and it has probably helped me with job interviews. But it's a long way of saying it's guarantee of getting a job. My journey began with Camilla, and I'm planning to meet her for the last time. She's about to leave on Erasmus, to find an answer on her own.
Just said bye to all my family. I'm going to Skype them. So I've got my webcam so I can talk to them over the internet, which would be good.